90 Day Fiance's Big Ed Brown is one of the most controversial franchise cast members. For years, he's been offending his much younger partners. Big Ed Brown is one of the most controversial cast members from the 90 Day Fiancé universe. Big Ed first appeared in 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Day Season 4, he traveled to the Philippines to meet his girlfriend, Rosemary Vega. The first red flag in their relationship was that Big Ed's 31 years older than Rose. Their time on 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days wasn't that great, and everything Big Ed said to Rose was incredibly rude. They ended up breaking things off by the end of the season 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Day Season 4 was only the beginning of Big Ed's 90 Day Fiancé journey. He was cast in the first season of 90 Day, The Single Life, where he began dating Liz Woods. However, Big Ed and Liz revealed they were split during 90 Day, The Single Life Season 1 Tell-All. Later, the reality TV show stars got back together and were featured in other 90 Day Fiancé spin-offs. It's time for Big Ed and Liz to split up for good. He has been a terrible partner during his time on the show. Big Ed's relationship with Rose on 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days Season 4 was conflicting. It gave 90 Day Fiancé fans a first look at the alarming behavior that Big Ed was capable of. At first, Big Ed was mesmerized by Rose. He was excited about meeting her after they had chatted on the internet. Big Ed visited Rose's home and was not comfortable staying there. He called it the weirdest experience of his life. Things took a swift turn when Rose sat Big Ed down to have an incredibly awkward conversation about the way her breath smelled. He started the conversation by telling Rose he had gotten her some surprises. He gifted her a few pieces of lingerie and a swimsuit. Big Ed also gave Rose mouthwash, a toothbrush, and toothpaste because he thought her breath was not pretty. Rose looked at Big Ed with disgust and went on to explain that she was suffering from an ulcer which had led to her bad breath. Big Ed insisted that he was concerned about Rose's health and that's why he gifted her the hygiene products. It's still one of the most cringe moments from 90 Day Fiancé. Rose was visibly upset by the gifts that he had given her. Rose admitted she was insulted and embarrassed by Big Ed at the moment. "I think Ed is a rude person," she added. This was not the end of Big Ed and Rose's tough conversations on 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Day Season 4. During 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Day Season 4, Big Ed continued to belittle Rose by questioning her hygiene. After Big Ed and Rose slept together, he sat her down once again to have another awkward conversation. This time, Big Ed was upset with Rose about her leg hair. He explained that he noticed Rose's legs were hairy and told her that he would shave his beard if she shaved her legs. In a confessional, Big Ed said he didn't like leg hair because it was less feminine for a woman. He put Rose on the spot at that moment. After telling Rose to shave, he bragged to production about how awesome their time together was the night before. Rose immediately went to the bathroom and shaved her legs for Big Ed. As if Big Ed telling Rose that her breath was not pretty wasn't bad enough, he added insult to injury. On 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 7, Big Ed and Liz attempted to work through their issues. They were constantly breaking up and getting back together. During the season, they had recently gotten engaged again and were working on becoming stronger as a couple. Their relationship was on the rocks, and they got into a huge fight on camera during a photography lesson. Big Ed was trying to teach Liz about photography, and they were practicing taking photos with one of Liz's friends. As they took photos, Big Ed became more flirtatious with the model. Liz said, during the shoot, Big Ed said the poses the model was doing were cute and encouraged her to play with the camera. Liz got increasingly jealous of Big Ed's flirting, and she began critiquing his photography skills. "It looks like she has no neck," said Liz, which upset Big Ed. He thought the picture looked great. Big Ed and Liz's relationship was not in a great spot when they did the photography lesson. He said that part of his job as a photographer was to build the confidence of a model, and Liz was doing the opposite of that. After Big Ed and Liz's engagement party on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 7, they had a massive fight. Big Ed threatened to call off their wedding because he thought that Liz had invited a previous partner of hers to their engagement party. Big Ed saw a friend of Liz's come up to her and thought they were having an emotional fight. He said he knew this friend was a lesbian and proceeded to ask Liz if she was in a relationship with the woman. This angered Liz, as she did nothing wrong. She wasn't disloyal. So the party's kind of wrapping up, and I see a friend of Liz grab her by the arm. I know her, she's a lesbian, and this looks like an emotional fight. He was intent that Liz was hiding something and felt their interaction was the way a girlfriend would react to a girlfriend. Liz ran away from the engagement party, and the cameras followed her as she walked around the city barefoot. Big Ed said he couldn't trust Liz and blatantly asked her, "Are you a lesbian?" during their fight. Big Ed thought that Liz had some sort of connection with one of her friends who attended their party. He insisted that he could read people and thought something more was happening. In the 90-day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 7 Tell-All, Liz found out that Big Ed had been communicating with his ex, Rose. At the tell-all, Rose was a special guest and revealed that she had been communicating recently with Big Ed. Rose said that Big Ed asked her to FaceTime him to talk. At first, he lied and said that he hadn't spoken to Rose, and then said he couldn't remember if they had communicated. Rose shared screenshots of their messages, proving that they spoke, and Big Ed said he wanted to visit her in the Philippines. In another attempt to work on their relationship, Big Ed and Liz joined 90 Day, the last resort Season 1. They were one of 5 couples in the season, alongside Yara Zaya and Jovi Dufresne. During a boys' night, Jovi and Big Ed went to a strip club. While they were out, Jovi texted a stripper whom he knew from his past. Later in the season, Big Ed told Yara that Jovi was texting another woman, and they almost got into a physical altercation. Jovi tried to lunge towards Big Ed, and Liz stood up in his defense. This angered Big Ed as he thought it made him look weak, which Liz took as an insult. He was mad that Liz interjected herself into his fight with Jovi. Big Ed was worried about Liz's safety in his fight with Jovi, but all she wanted to do was stand up and protect her man. This ended in a huge fight between Big Ed and Liz when he should have appreciated that his partner was sticking up for him. Liz was simply trying to stand up for her partner. Big Ed and Liz have gone through so many breakups. They broke up 15 times across several 90-day Fiancé seasons. Every time they fought, they threatened to leave each other. Their toxic cycle of breaking up and making up ruined their relationship. At the end of 90 Day, the last resort Season 1, it seemed like Big Ed and Liz had made a lot of progress. However, they split for the final time on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 8. One of the most shocking moments of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 8 was when Big Ed canceled his wedding to Liz. Big Ed and Liz were finally set to get married on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 8. Things seemed to be too good to be true for the couple. They moved from San Diego to Arkansas to be closer to Big Ed's family. After a fight about taco pasta, Big Ed called off his wedding without telling Liz. Liz found out the news after their officiant sent his condolences. Big Ed has had some polarizing moments on 90 Day Fiancé. He's been demeaning towards women and is constantly playing the victim. His relationship with Liz was incredibly toxic, and it'd be best for them both if they stayed split for good,